Hi, my name is Kevin McDonald, and I'm declaring my independence. Independence from what? Why, negative thoughts and energy, of course. Chief among them, hate, division, and fear. You see, I know that we're all one, and together we can solve any problem, save our planet and each other. Please, join me as we come together as one and choose a better way to be. So now, let's begin with my independence report. Welcome, everybody, to my Independence Report. We've got a great show for you today because we're going to talk about time. All about time. All this time that that we don't have time to have time and all that stuff. So Les Watson is with us, and he is the Time Lord. I read about you. Is that a nickname that you have by chance?
It's a story. A really quick story. We were starting the business, and everyone has a business card. And I didn't want to be manager. I didn't want to be general manager. I didn't want to be director. I wanted something that stood out. So we're about to hit the hay for sleep, and I turned to my wife, and being Christians, we kind of looked up and said, "It's got to have something to do with time, Lord." And that was it. We laughed at ourselves silly, and the Time Lord was born. I am the Time Lord.
And do you wear a cape and everything?
I've got a sonic screwdriver, and I've got what is it? A telephone box and a scarf. But apart from that, I could just give you back an hour a day.
Well, you can give me an hour a day. That would be pretty priceless, because 25 hours a day is a lot better than 24. But you can cram more into 24 than what you're doing now. Is that what I'm getting?
There's so many people that are saying, I've got so much to do and not enough time to do it in. Now, if that's true, then allow me to come alongside you and give you some tips and tricks and skills and methodologies, so that you can take that weight off your shoulders and get on to do the things you're supposed to be doing, let go of the anxiety, and create the life that you want.
We spend so much time creating a life that we don't want. We don't have any time to spend creating the life that we do want.
Yeah. So where's your focus? So Kevin, where's your focus? Where's your focus? That's a big thing for a lot of people, is if you keep the main thing, you can get what you want done. But a lot of people, for example, they've got a lot going on. They're in confusion. They've got anxiety, those sorts of things. And the first thing I say to them is, get everything in your head, out of your head, down onto paper. And those things in your head are things like ideas you've had and not started, things that you've started and not continued and not finished, and some things you've finished and not even acknowledged. Because that's a cycle of productivity, and if that cycle is broken, it creates an incompletion. So there's incompletions live in your head. You get them out of your head down to paper, and you go, I didn't realize I had so many incompletions. By getting them out of your head onto paper, you can do something with it.
And isn't it always good to do that? Because if you get it on paper, then you don't have to keep it in your mind anymore.
Exactly. A lot of the stress comes right off, because you don't have to be worrying about it, thinking about it, recalling it, called, oh, have I done it? Out of your head, down onto paper, and then put that piece of paper or that list somewhere that you trust, what I call a trusted system. What's your trusted system? It can be paper-based, it can be app-based. I don't really mind what it is. I use both, and my main one is a paper-based system. So the stuff that I've got to do today is in the system. All my appointments are in there, the tasks that I have. So if I'm interrupted, all I need to do is turn to my trusted system and go, what am I doing again? Oh, yeah.
By the way, I want to back up a little bit, because you don't sound like you're from around these parts. Where are you at? Yeah, I think you're in Aussie country, aren't you?
I am in the southern state, or one of the southern states of Australia, called Victoria, and a little place called Geelong. Don't call it Geelong. No. Geelong. So I'm in Geelong in Victoria in Australia.
And we were talking about that because Australia's got like the 10 deadliest snakes in the world, and spiders that eat cats and all sorts of stuff. So it's like I'm glad that you are able to communicate with us and worldwide to get your message out. I just don't want to see you get like eaten down there.
And then there are the sharks.
Yeah,
Don't forget the
yeah.
sharks. We've got sharks galore in Australia. But no, it's all good. It's a wonderful place to visit. And if you come down, I'll guarantee you safety. Am I allowed to say that? Probably not, but come on down.
Well, because I'll be stuck in a hotel room on the fifth floor or better, because snakes can't get up the fifth floor, I hope, and stuff. So you gotta understand. I live in Seattle. We don't have anything here, so that's a big deal.
Yep.
We have a few spiders, and they scared the hell out of me. Anyway, so we're talking with Les Watson. He is an expert on how to get you more time. How to manage your day so that you can figure out how to live life more effectively, because when you're always running behind, it's very stressful, isn't it?
It is. And that's about prioritization and scheduling. And even down to, like, I could go off on those two, but how are your boundaries? Do you say no to people? Do you actually go, that's not going to work for me right now? Can you come back in half an hour? Can you come back in an hour? Can we take that up this afternoon? Can we do that one tomorrow? Why? Because what you're working on is probably, maybe, perhaps, perchance, more important than what their interruption is. So sometimes you need to say no. And it's not, excuse me, go away. It's a matter of, oh, that's a really good idea, Kevin. Why don't we take that up at 2:00 this afternoon? Those sorts of things. It really is a boundary issue rather than having people kind of jump on you with their agenda.
Oh, nobody does that. It's everybody's got an agenda, and if you've got something that they would like a skill or something that they would like to use in their own, but they can't do it themselves, suddenly it becomes your deal. And boundaries would be very, very helpful to be able to say, well, maybe here's a piece of software that I use. Maybe you should buy that and figure out how to do this, or whatever it is. Because boundaries are really important. You're right.
Yeah, even an office situation, closed door policy, open door policy. Some people go, I've got an open door policy, and they wonder why they never get any work done. It's because every now and then you need to close your door to work on that really big report or that really big email or that really big deal that you're working on, so that people go, oh, the door's closed, I can't interrupt. When the door's open, I can go in. And then there are others, like sitting at a desk and you put a flag up or you put a funny hat on. Oh, when he's got his hat on, don't go near him. So those sorts of things, they really work as a boundary that indicate to people. And again, you need to have the communication with people, but it is that thing of, hey guys, I need to get some work done. And there are times when I'm not available.
And that makes perfect sense, because you can't. Everybody wants to. If you're like in charge, everybody wants to bend your ear. Everybody wants to figure out what they can do to get into your better graces so that they can get a raise or whatever it is that they want to accomplish in their interactions with you. And if you're doing that all day, you can't get anything done.
Yep. And which brings us back to that thing of what do you want to get done in a day? And I was talking to my team today in a live broadcast on Facebook. And I was talking about scheduling, that if you want to get something done, schedule it, put it in your calendar. So for me, my nutrition at the moment is really important because I'm doing a lot of exercise, like 1 or 2 hours a day in exercise, and I'm not 21. So I'm not saying how old I am, but I'm not 21. So to
You're
do that
23.
amount of exercise, I need to put the fuel in. So I actually schedule lunch every single day. Why? Because of the amount of people that say, oh, can I do a podcast with you? Can I do an interview with you? Can I do a meet and greet with you? Can I have a coffee catch up with you? And if I don't put it in, they've got access to my calendar and they'll just book it. And I go, no. Lunch is important for me, so I put those in. And then the other one that I've been doing is putting exercise in. So for me, if it's in my calendar, it will get done. So I've gone 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, not like this morning, that was 4 a.m., but 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, I go exercise, 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 and I schedule it because it's important. The question on the table is, are you scheduling things that are important to you? Are you putting it in your schedule so that if you had an appointment, if I had an appointment with Kevin, I'd make it. Why? Because it's important. So my appointments with me are important, therefore I would make them and keep my agreement with myself.
Which isn't that actually more important than any other agreements that you make? Because it's that old thing, like in that they tell you when you get in the airplane, and they say make sure that if the airbags are deployed, to put the one on you before you help the child, because if you don't do that, you can pass out, then nobody gets helped. So you have to take
Perfect.
care of yourself.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I have in my coaching are 12 actual modules. And one of the modules is self-care, because small business owners don't take care of themselves enough. Oh no, I need to push, I need to go, and we find we're getting burnout, we're getting anxiety, you've got mental health issues, your marriage is falling apart, those sorts of things. And I'm saying, as you just said, take care of yourself so you can take care of others. So give yourself time to look after yourself. What does that mean? Well, let me give you a quick example. My wife had some medical issues, and she's been sick for a long time. And I went to the naturopath, and she came with me, and she asked the question of him, would it be that I've been sick? Would that cause my husband's blood pressure to go up? And he went, yeah. And she just turned to me and said, it's time for you to look after yourself rather than look after me. So it was permission. It really was a conversation, and permission for me to do the things that I really want to do. Get the swimming pool membership, go for a walk on the beach, have a bath, get a massage, have a float, those sorts of things that are real self-care, that are totally different for every single person. Across the board, they are going to be different. And yet, do you take the time to do some self-care for yourself? Oh, I don't have the time. That's one person once said to me, I'd do a time management session, but I don't have time.
That that is a self-defeating statement right there. Because, because it's important to have enough time to have time. Because really, honestly, time is all we've got. And if you run out of time, or and I have a similar problem that you have. I am doing a lot of podcasts. I'm doing editing, I'm doing intakes, I'm doing all this kind of stuff, and it does get daunting. And you're right, if you don't schedule yourself time, which I don't do very well, as I must confess. So in my business, there's something called podcast burnout, or podcast fade. That's because you're so wrapped up in it, you get tired and stuff, and then you say, "Well, chuck it. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to do it for a month or something like that." And that's self defeating. That doesn't work either.
Yeah. And I have two things that I talk about around that. And one is leadership, and the other one is discipline. Did he just mention the D word? Yes, he did. Discipline. No,
Don't
no one,
Nobody
no
wants to
one,
talk about discipline.
absolutely no one wants to be disciplined. Do they, Kevin?
Oh no, I got to tell you, I was told one time, not too long ago. He looked at me and he said, "You're not a very good employee." Uh, because you don't take discipline well at all. You don't take constructive criticism well at all. It's like, well, yeah, I know. I guess I'm not a very good employee, because nobody wants to be disciplined. Nobody wants to be told you can't, or you
Yeah.
shouldn't, or you need to change what you're doing.
And the other side of the word is, are you a disciplined person? do you actually do things as a discipline, as a regular thing, as a routine? So leadership for me is not waiting for other people. It's not saying, oh, well, maybe if Kevin gave me permission, or maybe somebody else, my wife, my husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it might be. No, no, no. You are in control of your life. So it's not a matter of other people. In around time, you need to be the leader. You need to take control and make things happen. I was going to swear then, but it's a family show, so I won't do that. Make things happen. Be the leader. And then on the back end of that, have the discipline to do it on a regular basis. For example, I know you don't want to go there, Kevin, but I'm going to go there anyway. Emails.
Oh,
There it is, the big topic, email. No one wants to talk about email. Why? Because as soon as you create your email account, it's got 40 emails and it's never gone back to inbox zero. Now, I'll talk about inbox zero in a tick, but you're laughing, and most people are laughing because it's true, isn't it, Kevin?
I've got 1,645 emails in my inbox. I don't have enough time to even friggin' organize my inbox.
I think that's hilarious because it's actually a show for the listeners, but I'm giving Kevin a coaching session as we speak. So it's all about him, not about the listener. All right. So the thing about email is when it comes to discipline, there are 4 things you need to do with your email. One of 4 things. As an email comes in, if it can be done in 2 minutes, just do it. So the 4 Ds, I call them: do it, dump it, delegate, and decide when. If it can be done in 2 minutes, just do it. If it's spam or it's irrelevant, it's not, no, just dump it, delete it, get rid of it. Third one is if it's not yours and you've got a team, like you could delegate it to Holly. Say, Holly, have this. Delegate. Bang, handled. Why? Because it's actually not in your purview. It's not in your wheelhouse. It's not supposed to be done by you. It's supposed to be done by somebody else. Then delegate it, and delegate it nicely, Kevin. Don't just go, whoo, slippery Sam and Teflon Tim. Like nothing sticks to Kevin. He doesn't take any responsibility for nothing. No, actually go, I was wondering, Holly, can you do this for me? This is the outcome that I'm after and the time frame. Is that okay with you? And get agreement. Because a lot of people don't even do that. There's no communication. They just dump it on people and go, people saying, where'd that come from? So do dump, delegate. And the third one is if you can't do it in 2 minutes, then decide when you can do it and diarize it. Decide when you're going to do it and diarize it. So that you put it in your calendar, similar to the exercise or a meal, where you say, that's important enough for me to put it in the calendar. Therefore, it's an appointment with myself. Therefore, it will get done. If it's important, if that email is important, then I can't do it now. I'll do it at 4:15 this afternoon and give myself half an hour to do it. And I put it in the calendar so that it gets done. Those 4 things: do, dump, delegate, and decide when. What do you think, Kevin?
I think that's nothing short of brilliant, because a lot of us don't do that. It's because we get a lot of crap in our inbox, and a lot of that stuff just stays there. And then the things that you want to find, not that I would know from personal experience, mind you, but the things that you want to find, you can't find, because now that's on page 4 of, your 50 per page, and it was from yesterday afternoon kind of thing. And so then you have to take a lot of time to go through it to find it, because I think, no, you're right. Now, as far as your email goes, do you advocate using folders and taking them out, either dumping them or putting them into the appropriate folder in your email account?
A lot of people do folders. I do 2 or 3. I don't do many. Some people do 40 and 50, and I go, no, because if you don't know, like, oh, hold on a tick, it's around here somewhere, and you've got to spend time looking for it. Whereas if it's in one of 2 or 3 folders, I just go to the folder and go, I need an email from Kevin, and every email comes up from Kevin. So the search function on email is really easy nowadays. So I've got one for Get More Time, and I've got one for Les Watson, and there's probably one other in there as well. However, it's just the smaller, the better. It's either, and again, the whole thing around dump, do, dump, delegate, and decide when. Dump could be, yep, that doesn't belong in my inbox anymore. It's reference, and I'll put it in a folder for later. It's like I need it, but I don't need it now. I'll just put it in a folder so that if I do need to recall it, I'll just go to that folder and go, give me something on Seattle, give me something on whatever it might be. So folders for me, the smaller, the better.
I want to talk to you about the work that you do and why you do it, and the scope of your work, because you work with businesses, entrepreneurs, and individuals alike. Anybody that would like to organize themselves and organize their time so that they can be more effective. Do you travel the world, or do you do this all from Australia?
I used to travel. A lot, and a lot of it can be done by Teams and Zoom nowadays. So I've got people all over the world that I'm communicating with via Zoom and Teams. I'm doing the coaching via Teams and Zoom. It just works. So for me, the pandemic really took it out of a lot of the face-to-face stuff onto Zoom, and I went, well, what have I got? And I had a program that I did decades ago called the Creating Success Program. And I went, I should really bring that back to fruition. So I did a 66-day program, and people liked it so much that they said, where to from here? And the coaching then came on the back end of that. And I've been coaching people for a long time, but it was a new experience. So it was small business owners, that were either entrepreneurial, they'd been in their business for over 12 months and are looking to make a change. So I take them through 12 modules, and the modules are auditing, systems, planning, marketing, sales, email and paperwork, customer service, productivity, self-care, leadership, discipline, and continuous improvement. They're the 12, and they're online. So they're just sitting there, and people can delve into them once they're in the program. But one of the key factors is the coaching, and the coaching can come as a one-to-one. And I have 2-hour-long sessions during the week that people can come in and get group coaching. And the benefits, I just cannot stress the benefit of the group coaching is absolutely amazing. For example, I'll give you an example. I had an email back from a participant of the program, and they said, thank you so much for the encouragement that was given in the morning session, because she was on her way to a meeting, and there's a part inside of her that didn't believe in herself. She believed in the product and what she delivered, but not in herself. And we just pumped up her tires, and we really just came underneath her and lifted her arms up and went, we are so with you. You can do this. And she came out the other end. She said, that was amazing. I did what I didn't think I could do, and I got the result that I was after, and it all came out of the support of a small group. And Kevin, I know that there are people listening that try and do life on their own. You and I aren't those sorts of people. We're in amongst others, but there are those that do it on their own. I'm going, get some coaching, get in a group, get someone that can come alongside you and be supportive to you. Are you supportable, or are you trying to do it on your own?
One of the downfalls of being an entrepreneur is that you think that you've got to do it all by yourself. You got to do it all.
And it's false.
And a lot of these guys, what they end up doing is they end up buying themselves a 16-hour a day, 6-day a week job
For not enough money that they had when they did a 38 or a 40-hour week. And it's like, why am I doing this? Because you brought it on yourself. So one of the things that Kevin does, one of the things that I do, is really have people in our lives that can speak into our lives, and we are accountable to somebody else. So I've got a coach. I've got a couple of coaches. Why? Because I need it. So people that are actually giving me guidelines and keeping me on track and making me accountable. And I love it. I really, my productivity or my ability in business has gone up by, I'd say, 200% when I got a coach.
I believe it. I have a good friend. He's a financial planner. He works with people that have portfolios of $1 million or more. I mean, he's got himself into that position where he's really good and he's really sought after. He has a financial coach. The reason he has a financial coach, as he told me, was I need somebody who can see my blind spots.
That's the one.
I need somebody who can call bullshit on my bullshit, because there's going to be some of that.
It's great. They're great words. And so you need a couple of people. I talk about in the leadership module of the program, the Creating Success program, talking about the great 8, that you need at least 8 people who are on your team and have your back and are subscribed to your vision, but don't necessarily say yes to everything. They question things. And you get some of the 8 are those that pat you on the back and believe in you, but there are those in your grade 8 that just ask the big questions and ask the hard questions. So you need those sorts of people as well, but they still are on your team and they're still ascribing to your vision. They just go, really? Tell me about that. And let's clarify that. And are you sure you want to go down that track? Because sometimes you thinking you could take an action may not be the best thing. And you need someone to call bullshit. You need someone to pull your chain to go, are you sure you want to do this? Because it doesn't look good.
Well, I don't know if you've had any conversations with my executive producer, Holly, but she is that person. Because she believes in the work, she believes in what I'm doing, she's trying to help me to get the show to the next level, and to book great guests and to do all the stuff that we're doing. But at the same time, she's not afraid to call bullshit on me, because she knows that I need that kind of feedback to
I love
stay
it.
focused.
I love it. A round of applause for Holly. She's amazing. And do you have, listener, do you have that sort of person in your life? In your life, do you have that sort of person? Because you need those people to actually keep you accountable. Now, 2 things. One is a couple of good books. One is mine called Get Back an Hour in Every Day. And it's a good book and it's available on my website. However, the Great 8 comes from a book by a good friend of mine, Jen Harwood, and it's called The Greatness Principle. So if you wanted to look that up, The Greatness Principle by Jen, Jen, Jen Harwood. And there are videos online, and there's her book, and she does trainings around the world. But I would highly recommend you have a look at it. And in my program, I say, just have a look at it. It's very much worth it. Yep, Kevin's writing it down. Jen Harwood.
I am, because I'm going to look it up, and I'm going to, because none of us is got perfect knowledge. We can always learn something, and we can always learn a different way to do things, and a different attitude to take with it, because it's really easy, and that's the thing. And Les, if you would walk us, by the way, we're talking with Les Watson, getmoretime.com, I believe. Yes.
.au.
Oh, forget, so that's .australia. So it's getmoretime.com.au. I was just have you ever had one of those senior moments when you just had it and then it just kind of went away suddenly? That's shit. That's what happened to me just now. I got sidetracked with the .au.
That's
And
what
it's like,
happens when it's real.
exactly. Oh, I know what it was. We, as entrepreneurs and business people, we tend to believe that we are the only one who can do what we do and do it as well as we do it.
Hmm.
And so we don't delegate, and we don't allow growth for people that work for us or with us in order for them to become better at what they do. How do you encourage guys like that, that I've got to do everything, I'm the one, I'm nobody can do it like I can do it? How do you encourage them to give it up and to let others grow?
No, it's a great question, because it does come down to, number one, awareness. People need to be aware of what works for them and what doesn't work for them, and be open to looking at things a little differently. So awareness. Are you aware of what's working in your life and in your business? Have you taken stock? Which is why for us we do the audit as the first module to go, where are you at? Where are you at in your life? Where are you at in your business? So that awareness of, oh my goodness, I had no idea I was so far off track. That happens a lot. So once you become aware of it, you can then go, okay, am I open to support? So there's two keys. I've got a model, which is the ESI model, and E stands for external action, S stands for support, and I is for internal focus. So I'm going to leave the E and the I for a moment and talk about the S, because those two keys, the key with S is two parts. One is, are you supportable, and are you asking for support? And when I train, I have had in the past, I don't do it anymore. In the past, I'd jump up on a chair, and then the occ health and safety people said, no, Les, you can't do that. So I don't jump up on a chair, but I go, no, Kevin, it's okay. I'll do it myself. Thank you, Holly. I'm the best person for this. I'll do it myself. Thank you, Mary. I really appreciate it, but I'll do it myself. Now, this particular person, what are they standing on? They're standing on their ego. No one can do it as good as them. And I know no one listening would be that person, but we know people in our lives that do that sort of behavior. So what do these people need to do? They need to step down off the chair or down off their ego and allow those people in their life to give the support that they are offering, and let them in. It's like, can I give you a hand, Kevin? Can I give you a hand? Can I give you a hand? Can you give me? So these people are offering to support you, and you're not letting them in. So are you supportable? It's a great question and a great one to be aware of. And the second part of that is, do you ever ask for support? Do you ever go, I can't do this, I'm going to ask somebody else? Because most people go, no, I'll just knuckle down. If it kills me, I'll get it done. And it either does kill them, or it gets them into hospital, or it gets them so far behind that they go, why didn't I just ask for support earlier? It would have been better. So support is a big one, and we get stuck because, oh no, I've got too much guilt around it, or I've got shame around asking, and there's a whole big thing that I don't want to go into, but there's reasons why we don't ask for support. Are you a supportable person, Kevin?
Like I told you, I've been told I'm not a very good employee, because I'm getting better. Let me put it that way.
Nice.
I'm getting better, because it's important that, well, as my esteemed executive producer says, you're building a company here. You've got 4 podcasts, you've got 9 websites, you got a radio show, you're trying to build a brand. Has it ever occurred to you what will happen if you die?
Nice. Very good. Very good.
And she said, if you die, the whole thing goes away, and you can't. And so I am working diligently to bring on a team of people that can do what I do, and talk to great people like you, and to create more of that and less of me, so I can step back a little bit and can utilize those folks to grow and maintain the job and the position, so that the company and all the all the oh what's that word, the intellectual property. That's
There it is.
I've got 600 episodes up now, and that's a lot of intellectual property of stuff that is valuable. Like, as an example, this episode that I'm doing with you
Mm.
is going to be downloaded a bunch of times, and a lot of people are going to find what you're saying very, very valuable and very, very helpful. And it would be nice to keep that going, to have you be a voice of reason for folks for 5-10 years,
Nice.
that they can download for that length of time. And so if it goes away, then we've accomplished nothing. And so
Nice.
I'm learning to back off, and to include more people into my world to make it work better.
There it
So
is, folks. He's learning, and I don't know it all. I don't profess to know it all. And the older I get, the more I don't know. Why?
amazing how that works, isn't it?
It's amazing. It's just amazing. Two things on what you just said. One is legacy. What legacy are you leaving? What's the legacy? Why are you on the planet? Now, we could go deep, and I don't want to go deep. I'll just go, why are you on the planet? What's the legacy? What are you leaving? So a lot of people will just go, I'm just from here to there, and then shuffle off the mortal coil. And I'm going, yeah, but what about your kids? What about your kids' kids? So what's the legacy? And Kevin, you're actually doing it. You're going, the pieces of information that end up on the podcast can go on for decades, and people go, that was awesome, that one. And I got so much out of that one, because they're just tapping back into it. So legacy, if you're in business, what's your legacy? If you're not in business, what's your legacy? Is it around family? Is it around community contribution? Those sorts of things. It could be financial. Maybe you are the person that can bring a financial stability in, so you can actually give that off to future generations. So that's number one, legacy. What were you going to say, Kevin?
Well, no, I was just going to validate your point, in that my father worked for Nordstrom's and did very well, and got a lot of profit sharing and stuff. Well, his legacy was, now he's been gone now for almost 20 years, but his legacy is the financial piece that has allowed my children, his grandchildren, to buy a house, and to do different things with a little bit of that, of his legacy money, because that was what was important to him to leave. And so you're right, we all need to have something, a legacy that we are building our life around.
Awesome. No, I love it. And the second part is around, who are you serving? Now, if you're in business, sometimes it's crystal clear and other times it's not. Who are you serving? Who are the people that are your audience? Who are the people that you serve? Who are the people that you give to? Who are the people that you are contributing to? And in business, it's really good to hone in on it. And the catch cry is, who's your avatar? Who's your ideal client? And find out who that is, so that you can do all your advertising and you can do languaging specific to that avatar. So that's for business. But the other side of that is, who are you serving outside of that? And if you're not in business and you're listening to the podcast, then who are those people that you're serving? Is it your family? Is it your church? Is it an association? Is it a club? Are you a part of a membership? Are you contributing there? Whereabouts in society are you contributing? And a lot of people go, yeah, I'll just leave that and I'll bring that back in and I'll serve my family. And I go, that's awesome too. Whether that's on your own, in a family, whatever that might be, who are you serving? And then give out of that. So I look at purpose, and it was quite amazing. When I discovered my purpose, I was over 50, and I went, how can I be on the planet for 50 years and not know my purpose? And when I found it out, I went, bang, there it is. And my purpose is to bring life. So that's it, to bring life. If I'm on a podcast, it's to bring life. If it's at a networking event, if it's in training, if it's coaching, it's to bring life. That's mine. It's not yours, it's mine. But the question on the table is, why do you get out of bed? My purpose, to bring life. It's very easy. I go, I'm probably not going to bring life laying here in bed. Get out of bed, let's go. And it's like, bang, why am I fronting up to podcasts to bring life? Why do I do what I do? To bring life. So it really motivates me and fuels me and fires me up to do the work that I do.
And not only that, it because you're in the business of bringing life to others and yourself, you're taking better care of yourself.
Just have to. And I can't say one thing and do another. It's not in my integrity. So I've got 4 values, and they are integrity, positivity, action, and community. So I'll do the last one: community, bringing people together; action, called just don't think about it, do it; positivity rather than negativity, it's called don't tell me what I can't do, tell me what I can do. And then integrity, my wife always says, if I ever had an affair, I wouldn't have to tell her. I'd just walk through the door and it'd be written all over my face, because I cannot tell a lie. I just can't. So it's all about integrity.
I have the same problem. I can't. I'm apparently my face is too expressive, because I just can't. I just can't. It's hard to tell a lie, but because then I have to remember what in the hell it was that I said.
Yep.
If you don't tell the truth.
Yep.
But
I went down a rabbit hole there, and I have no idea where I was going. You're passing on your senior moments to me now, so I have no idea why I went to values. Why did I go to values?
because you went to values because what your life purpose is. Why are you here? And there comes a point in time in everybody's life. I'm convinced of this, in everybody's life, when you sit down with yourself in a quiet moment and say, crap, why am I here? Is this all there is? There has to be more to my existence than just working and eating and pooping and working and eating. And there has to be more. And it's when you found that at 50. That's when you made that discovery. And it seems to me, in my world, in talking to a bunch of people, it seems like somewhere in between 40 and 55, 40, and right around in there, that people start questioning a lot of different things about who they are, why they're here, how can they make a difference. Maybe it's because we are, when you turn 40 and you go, well, gee whiz, I'm halfway done.
Yeah.
And have I accomplished anything? And what am I going to accomplish in the last half? And what I've discovered is a lot of people like you are doing incredible work, and you weren't even doing this when you were in your 40s. It took you when you were in your 50s.
Yeah. And in amongst, I completely agree with what you just said. And in amongst it, the penny dropped as to why I went to values. And it was saying, you're good. No, you're good. And what it was saying one thing and doing another, which I don't do. I can't do that. I need to back it up. So when I say take care of yourself to other people, I need to take care of myself. So for me to run my corporation, it's not a matter of just doing it on the smell of an oily rag. I've got to fuel the engine. I've got to do the right diet, because I'm fitter now than I have been in decades. And it's all based on the fuel that I'm giving myself. And it's not outrageous. It's not some highfalutin thing. It's nothing like that. It's just putting good stuff in, and I'm getting traction out the other end. My engine is running. And sleep, I've never slept so well in my life. One of the things I'll talk to people about when I coach them is, what are you doing around sleep? Are you looking after yourself? Are you snagged by the idiot box on the wall, or we used to call it the idiot box in the corner, the one-eyed monster in the corner, the TV? And nowadays, you don't even need the TV. You just do it on a tablet. And then you forget the tablet. I've got a phone. So I'll take that into the bedroom. So number one, ditch the television from the bedroom. Then number two, ditch the iPad tablet from the bedroom. And number three, ditch the phone. Les, I can't ditch. It's my alarm clock. I say, great, stick it on the other side of the room so that when it goes off, you get out of bed and do what you say you're going to do, as opposed to having it on your nightstand and going, I'll just scroll through. Oh, crap, it's 11:30. Oh, I better go to sleep.
You know, and then you turn on the CNN or you're scrolling in your phone and you see all the bad things that are happening in the world, or suddenly you look at the futures and you go, the stock market's going to go down tomorrow. Oh crap! And it, rather than just taking your time and being quiet and reflecting upon who you are, what you're about to do, and then allow yourself to be, and then go to sleep and feel good about yourself.
Yep.
You know,
Careful what goes in your eyes and in your ears. And that's under your control. You have control over that. So if you are watching the wrong things, you're putting the wrong things in. If you're listening to the wrong things, you're putting the wrong things in. You can turn that around. There's huge amounts of good television and good podcasts and good YouTube, like more than you can shake a stick at. That's probably an Australian term, but that's beside the point. It's more than you can shake a stick at, Kevin. And therefore, you can bolster yourself by what you watch and bolster yourself by what you listen to. And I'm on my bike and saying to Kevin as we were prepping, I was on my bike this morning at 4 a.m. Why? Because I woke up after 3 going, oh, I think I've had enough sleep. And I got on the bike and I was on the bike and I did an hour and a half and an hour and 3/4. And it was awesome. But while I'm on the bike, I'm listening nicely to great podcasts. I'm having people speak into my ears stuff that's going to bolster me in my business and in my life.
and there's a lot of that information out there. It really is cool. If you know where to look, you can find all the positive information that you want. I'd like to think that somebody soon is going to be listening to this podcast while they're riding their bike and listening to you, and will benefit from it greatly.
Awesome. And again, it's good stuff. You bring on good people. Present company excluded. No, whatever. I may be here. That's beside the point. Let's take me out of the equation. It's
no. Let's not, because you are a dynamic individual, and you are more fun to talk to than I get the pleasure of talking to a lot of folks, and you're one of the top.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate that.
You know your stuff too, which is, and in business, you really need somebody that can help you with the blind spots.
And I mentioned it earlier to you, and I'll say it now, that if you go to my website, getmoretime.com.au/podcast, there are some options on there to get stuff from me. And whether that's 15 minutes free, or it could be my book, Get Back an Hour in Every Day, I'm willing to give it to you as a free PDF. I said it's valued at $24.95, and I'll give it to your listeners for free. They just need to go to my website, getmoretime.com.au, and getmoretime.com.au/podcast. Maybe you want some coaching. Maybe that's a conversation you want to have, and you just go, I need to have a conversation with you, Les, and I'm happy to talk. No, there's no, like, it's me. It's like, there's no push. What can I give? How can I help? What can I do to help on the other side of the world? And again, whether that's from the US or the listeners that are closer on this side, because I know you've got a worldwide audience, then I'm offering, how can I help? How can I help? Some of it's paid, some of it's free, whatever I can do to help, happy to help.
And you've got a great team around you, and somebody on your team has just said, Les, you're going to give it away for free? What? That's not what you said we should do. You know, that's what Hollywood said is like, no. You can't give it away. Come on.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And I fight with it inside of myself often. It's like, but you put a lot of work in it. Why are you giving it away for free? Well, if that can be a leg up for somebody and they can get back on their feet, then I'm willing to do that. And then on the back end of that, they go, Les, I think I need to work with you. And quite a few people have come into my program and done that, called I Can't Afford This, because my normal program is a $5,000 program. So it's $5,000. And yet people say, oh, can I pay that off? And they pay it off. And others go, can I have a reduced? And can I have this? Can I have that? But on the back end, they go, no, it was worth it. I now need to start paying you because I'm starting to reap the benefit of the coaching in dollars, and I want to repay that to you. And that's lovely. It's not something that was agreed upon in the beginning, but they go, no, this is good stuff, Les. Very good stuff.
Well, it just means that it works.
Yeah. And we need stuff that works as opposed to stuff that doesn't.
And exactly right. And you can spend all day in a bookstore finding all kinds of self-help stuff. But if you find somebody who actually knows, and the other thing that I was intrigued by, Les, is you've also got the group sessions where you got guys that are feeding each other and helping each other and supporting each other, and you got a group supporting each other. That is more powerful than virtually anything else I can think of, is that they're working together to help each other.
It's amazing. It just is one of those things for me that I've gone, I was flabbergasted at the stories that come out of it. I got a message just late last night from one of the participants, and they said, I want to say a humongous, which is quite big, thank you firstly to Les and his wife Mary for their unbridled love and support, and to those online this morning for their kind words of encouragement. And they talk about how they were really helped in going forward and creating it. So that's community. Do you have a community of supportive people? Because it's not all about me. It can be your accountability partner. It can be somebody else speaking into your life that lifts you up for you to create greatness.
And you can create greatness. There's no question about it.
Yep.
Les Watson has been with us today. Go to his website, which is getmoretime.com.au, and go to the podcast and section, and he's going to give you stuff. I can't think of anything better than that. Lee, I want to thank you, or Les, I want to thank you very much for being with me today. And will you come back? Can we do this again?
That was fun. I love it, and I'd love to do it again. Let's get off the call and schedule it straight away.
Let's do that. And I know I want to honor your time, and we've been doing this for a bit. So stay right there, and I'll be right back. Maybe. Oh, yeah. There. Thanks for enjoying this episode all the way to the end. Please give us a like and subscribe to this channel. This has been a production of kmmedia.pro. Please visit our website, oddly enough, named kmmedia.pro, for more details about us and our mission, which is to provide great positive programming designed to inspire us all. I'm Kevin McDonald, and I'm proud of these shows, and I truly hope that you'll like them and share them with friends and family. So on behalf of our entire team, remember, be kind to each other, because each other's all we've got. We'll see you next time.